1 year ago in 2012, a crack duo, one martial arts expert and surprisingly good mimic, the other a weapons specialist and professionally bearded, were sent to separate recording stations thousands of miles apart to do an 80s and 90s action commentary podcast for a crime they happily committed. Something James Spader told them about that involved an industrial drum of coconut butter hand lotion and a common household whisk. These men promptly created a passion-filled wave of action adoration that swept throughout the internet underground. Today, still wanted by Steven Seagal for making one too many jokes about his expanding gut and knitted hair, they survive as podcasters of fortune. If you love action, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you should be listening to Dr. Action and the Kick-Ass Kid commentaries. This podcast, people, explodes.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Action and the Kick-Ass Kid commentary podcast. I am Dr. Action.
And I am a Kick-Ass Kid. And this week's show comes to you live from a bunker full of explosions. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, very well. How are you on this glorious Friday evening?
I'm doing fine, sir. My cheeks are rosy, and the ones on my face are pretty pink too. And I'm ready and excited to cover yet another Andy Sidaris film. Although, of course, we've decided, as we did last week, to hand it over to our they're special representatives, really, of the British film industry.
Yeah, we didn't make the introductions last week, did we?
No.
Silly boys. So we'll introduce them this week. Good friends of ours.
Yeah, but they work exclusively for the British film industry and also for the AFI as well. So they are all knowing when it comes to Sidaris movies and his genius. So we'll hand them over officially this week. But we're here to do the introductions. We're here to do our Week in Action. We're here to read a bit off the Facebook page. And I'm all excited.
Yes, should be a good introduction. I'm sorry we can't be around for any longer, but when it comes to Sidaris, these guys are the shit.
Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to give you the best possible show, and you know, when it comes to Sidaris, as Dr. Action says, these are the guys you really want to talk to.
Yep, they're the guys. They're the guys, all knowing, all seeing.
Yeah, and so we'll hand you over to them in a minute. But what have you watched this week, Doc?
I've watched Fast 6 again with Vin Diesel and The Rock.
Lovely.
And small cameo by Statham at the end.
Nice.
Nice.
I can't wait.
I'll be fucking to come and get you, you cunt.
Yes. I'll be in Fast 7. With Kurt Russell. See, if him and Kurt Russell join forces in Part 7...
it's Fast 8 now, don't they?
Yeah, they do, I know. But look, if Kurt Russell is in... Look, how can there be a Fast... Look, Statham's got to win in Fast 7. And how can there be a Fast 8? Kurt Russell's got to win. Like, there's no way that Vin Diesel and The Rock could have a hope in hell against Statham and Russell. Having a laugh.
No, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know which fucking... it must be William Goldman writing this script if he can write a way out of that.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because, I mean, I don't know. I guess what's going to happen then is Statham's going to be the main guy throughout this one. And then at the end, Russell's going to show up and be like, do you need a hand, son, or something?
Yeah. Oh, my boy.
And Statham's going to be like, how the fuck do we write out the fact that I've got a British accent and you're Kurt fucking Russell?
Maybe he stopped off in England.
Yeah, he worked for British Interpol. That seems to work for every Statham character in American film.
Yeah. No, I just like the British accent. I am American. All right. Talking American accent, I don't fucking want to. I'll break your fucking legs. It pulls the ladies. My British accent drops drawers quicker than Brad Pitt's cock.
Yes, it's true. True story. Yeah, so I'm excited for all that going on. What have I watched this week? I've watched Sudden Death, Van Damme versus Powers Booth in the last game of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I think Powers Boothe's probably got one of the best voices in cinema history.
He has, and one of the best stashes when it comes to Tombstone. But no, in Sudden Death, obviously, it's Die Hard in an ice rink with an exploding helicopter at the end. That's about all you need to know, really.
And why not?
And why not, indeed, with the Muscles from Brussels doing the honours. He does also get to kill a woman dressed as a giant penguin using a dishwasher.
It's original.
And if that hasn't sold the movie to you, I don't know what will. So check out Sudden Death, very cool movie. I also got to check out Red Hill, which is by the director of Expendables 3. And the doc and I were just talking about it. But basically, it's a kind of... It's got reminiscent... It's sort of reminiscent of a First Blood type film. The plot's sort of different, although the kind of stranger comes into town type thing is still there. But, you know, and the group of cops and things like that. But there's a great twist, some good scenes, some nice action. I can see why. I think Stallone watched it and got a little reminiscent of First Blood. And I think he was like, yeah, we could go for a bit more of a serious vibe to Expendables 3.
Mm. I'm looking for... I've got it, so I've got to watch it. I'll put it on my to-watch list.
Yeah. But, no, very, very interesting choice. Red Hill, I mean, it's not a perfect movie. It's not like a quintessential Ozploitation, you know, cheesy action, weird jokes, you know, stuff like that. It's got elements, like any movie made in Australia that's kind of horror or action or whatever, has elements of the old 70s Ozploitation. It's not quite there, but it's not far off. And, you know, like I say, it's classically directed. It's got a First Blood vibe. It's not, you know, it's not all shaky cam and unnecessary zooms or any of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that he continues that vein of proper direction for X3.
Mm.
And, of course, speaking of X3, what the fuck is going on with fucking Kelsey Grammer, dude?
I think I've already said on the Twitter, on Facebook, I think Sylvester Stallone must owe him a really big favour.
Yeah.
I don't know how you put him in there.
Not when... Look, you can put him in there like they did in X3, was it? He was in? Not Expendables 3, but X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just any franchise that has X in the title and gets to 3.
Third film. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. But no, when you... Like, first of all, Nick Cage...
Wait, it's first blue. This is Expendables.
Rub off that blue paint. First of all, like, Nick Cage is not in it, so they went to Kelsey Grammer. Like, why isn't Nick Cage in it? Nick Cage doesn't turn down a film role. And surely Nick Cage is already in Bulgaria filming 3 films at once. Surely that's where he is. And like I said, on our blog, where you can go and read the update, the official update about Expendables 3, which covers this and Statham's second near-death experience on the set so far. Yeah, possibly the same one. We don't know if it's just being reported twice differently, but we talk about that on the blog. You can go over to our blog, kickassactionnews.blogspot.com. But as I said on there, you know, are you telling me that Steven Seagal, Kurt Russell, Roddy Piper, Jeff Speakman, Jeff Wincott, Billy Blanks, Pam Grier, Sigourney Weaver, Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy, Danny Glover, Carl Weathers, Sho Kosugi, Gene Hackman, Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, Don the Dragon Wilson, Fred Williamson, Liam Neeson, and even Woody Harrelson, Grammer's old Cheers colleague, are none of those available that you've got to go right down the list to Chelsea Grammer? Why? Because he was in Up Periscope? What? I mean, I don't understand.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on all those names that you just listed out.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. Second of all, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I saw in the paper he's actually going to be playing one of the Expendables or a friend of Sylvester Stallone's in the film.
Yeah, called Bonaparte.
Right, so is he the comic relief?
I don't know. But I made a poster. I found a picture of him wearing a pink
t-shirt. He looks like
t-shirt.
Jack Nicholson in the poster.
I found a picture of him wearing a pink t-shirt and blue shorts with sailboats on them. And I made Expendables 3. I can't get my head around it, dude.
It's the most shocking piece of casting I've had this year. I mean, this makes the Ben Affleck signing on as Batman seem a fucking masterstroke.
Yeah, seem obvious, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, I even listed a couple of women in there because I'm thinking it doesn't have to be a guy.
No,
like
it doesn't.
if Pam Grier came round the corner, even if she was called Bonaparte, you'd be like, yeah, I know, she gives part of me a boner. You would buy it, right? You know,
yeah.
If she was in the military garb, she came around the corner. But, you know, a Sigourney Weaver or anyone like that. Or like I say, if you want an older guy with a posh accent, fucking Dalton or Moore. Surely Dalton or Moore.
Yeah, I get William Shatner in there. He's tackled Klingons.
Shatner would have been perfect. But why Grammer? I don't understand. I mean,
no, I don't get it. I don't get it. Even Kelsey Grammer's agent must have been like,
what the fuck? Right, exactly. David Hyde Pierce has now been confirmed, and there will be a scene where he says, "Not now, Niles."
Who's the villain, Stallone? We've got Nathan Lane. Hello, darling.
Yeah, doesn't make a lick of fucking sense to me. But I did, listeners will be pleased to know, manage to get round to watching the Mark Dacascos legendary 90s action movie, Drive.
Excellent. It's good, isn't it?
It is a fucking awesome film. And I'm not even exaggerating just because we're on the show. I mean that. It is honestly now probably in my top 10, top 15 action movies of all time.
Yeah, so you're glad I sent it now, aren't you?
I'm bloody glad. And the director's special is the only one to watch. If people are sat out there on the theatrical cut, throw it away. Don't even bother. Watch the director's cut, because as it shows in the documentary, they cut out 13 minutes. And they cut out all the bits that give you the reason why Mark Dacascos is doing what he's doing. They cut off all the emotional core of the film.
See, it's the only way to go. It was only released in England, the director's cut.
Yeah, and it's got the bad guy from, any fans of Bruce Campbell, it's got the bad guy from Briscoe County Jr., John Piper Ferguson, in it. And I'm now following him and Mark Dacascos on Twitter and keeping my fingers crossed that, who knows, maybe, if we can play our cards right, Dr. Action will be hosting a Drive reunion. Let's hope
so. We'll get them around mine. We'll all have a nice pot of tea.
Yes.
A cigar. And we'll have hookers dancing in the background. Because I know Dacascos likes those.
I love that. I think that's great.
We should do that. Drive reunion night. Come and a night in with Dr. Action and the Kick-Ass Kid, with special guest Mark Dacascos and the other fella. What's his name?
I forget the other fella's name. I know, I honestly do, because he was fine. I mean, he adequately fulfilled the African American comedic sidekick.
Is his name Kadeem?
Kadeem, that's it. Yeah. I don't have it up on my thing because I'm looking at Chris Taylor's theme park post on Facebook. But
yeah, I read that this morning.
Yeah, well, we'll be reading that out. Did you want to go ahead and read that out on the show, sir? But no, anyway, we're going to be bringing you Drive in the near future, November, hopefully, or October, maybe, rather.
All right, let me find out where it is. I'm looking through and it's just Chris Taylor. Taylor.
Yeah, it's under post by other people.
Yeah. It should just be called Post by Chris Taylor.
It should really.
Right, here we go. Right. Where do we sign up? LOL. All we need is a state one. That's referring to what you just said. The Jackie Chan theme park.
The Chan Meister. Right.
So you replied, if we had a Dr. Action and a Kick-Ass Kid theme park, what should it include?
Yeah.
And Chris Taylor said, well, that question woke me up pretty quick. LOL. That noise you hear is the gears in my brain working overtime. Firstly, I have an Expendables tightrope slide into the park, landing in a Southern Comfort-style swampland, throwing a few one-armed Cajuns chasing you. You have to infiltrate a Rambo-land-style village. To escape, you have to scale the Batman 1966 wall. there on its way to the Flappy Hands room to face the final boss, the Paunch himself, Seagal, all ending in a photo op as you jump towards the exit, giving the same pose as the Doc and Kick-Ass Kids logo. Boom, there you go, guys. I'd buy that for $1.
Look at that. That's tremendous.
Hey, I put you in. See, we're recording later. You know that's being read out. The Kid. As always, keep them coming, and I'll keep listening. The best podcast on the net, in my honest opinion. And he put, thank you, sir. Tell all your friends all the time. He said, done deal, guys.
So we expect all of Chris Taylor's friends to be listening and following us now on Facebook. If they don't, in the next half an hour, we're going to disown Chris Taylor. I'm only kidding, Chris.
Okay. We've already said that we should be getting Chris Taylor on the show at some point, haven't we?
Yeah, we have discussed it as a possibility. And by getting him on the show, we don't mean to speak or anything, but we mean kidnapping him and keeping him in a basket, just occasionally opening it to give us compliments, and then we shut it down again. As
we're talking, we want him to be posting.
Yeah.
That's what
we should hire him, really, to do our Twitter feed, is what we should do.
We should do it, really.
If we had any money at all, which we don't.
No, we don't. We don't. We can pay you in shout-outs.
Could pay you in worthless compliments. And
condoms. Everybody likes a used condom.
I could pay him in half-eaten nibblies of Battenberg cake.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's good. That's currency where I come from.
I think so. Makes perfect sense to me.
Makes perfect bloody sense.
Yeah, so if you'd like some used Battenberg nibbled Battenberg cake and some used condoms, let me do that again. If you'd like some nibbled Battenberg cake and some used condoms, Chris, then the job of doing our Twitter feed is yours. So there we go. What else? Oh, yeah, I just want to do a bit of a shout-out. My old buddy, Chris Fulbrook, or Didi as we know him, is turning 35 today. And way back when, about 10 years ago, me and him, similar setup to Dr. Action, the Kick-Ass Kid, although we did it on film, had a little action partnership known as Super Cop and Informer, which can be found on YouTube, but I'm not going to tell you where. You just have to hunt it down. It's out there somewhere on YouTube. But it's his birthday today, so I wanted to have a shout-out to Super Cop.
Happy birthday, Dee.
Yes. Good. He's a good man. A very, very good man. And a beardy brother of mine, so...
Right, it's all good then, isn't it?
It is all good. But, yeah, I have forever put myself in the sidekick role. Happily. Yeah, this is my second foray into it, and hopefully this will continue for as long as we're able to breathe. And generally,
I'm not going anywhere.
Right, exactly. Me neither. I just wanted to grow. What I wanted to do is I wanted to grow and expand and do movies and all sorts of stuff. Even if it's just you come to America, we get a camcorder, we run out into a field and do silly movies. I still want it to do, that in the future. That's the plan.
That's the plan. We're going to do it.
Mo Porn can play the villain in every single movie. We can have Mo, and if you can get Snoog over as well, he can be one of Mo's henchmen.
Yeah. He looks an henchman, doesn't
he? He looks hench-like. Yeah. Snoog's got a hench sort of sense to him.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of Jason masks.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, which is weird in itself.
Yeah, he's got them all on his wall.
Yeah, I can only imagine him and his wife get up to all sorts of games.
Yeah.
Or girlfriend, I forget.
Yeah. But, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what if he's got a go. He's probably She probably got scared off by him. Shall I put the mask on? Please don't. I'll put the mask on.
I got a really sick joke in my head. I'm just going to say it. Fuck it. You imagine him like Snoog Snoog having an orgasm was like... Sorry.
Oh, you know he's done it. You've done it, Snoog. Confirm. And if you don't confirm, that means you've done it.
And if you... Either way, you've done it, and we know you've done it. So, and anyway, next week we have the wonderful Mike Murphy from Badasses, Boobs and Body Counts, who's going to be coming on here and discussing Andy Sidaris in depth. In depth. So it'll be our final Sidaris episode for this little run, but I'm sure we'll have more Sidaris on the show. Yeah, maybe. I find them difficult because they're already ridiculous.
That's part of the reason why we've had to get the professors in.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel like it's, you know, a lot of people want us to do modern movies, and you know we're still deep in the 80s and 90s at the moment. You know, we have strayed occasionally, some in the 70s and a couple of modern ones to do the odd state, but really we want to stick in 80s and 90s. And secondly, like a lot of people are like, oh, you should do like...
The Godfather.
No. You should do like comedy ones, like comedy action stuff or whatever. You know, we're doing a couple of the Sidaris things, but it's difficult because, you know, what if something's written to be purposely funny, how can you be funny about it? You know what I mean?
I'm wasting my time.
But on the strength of the Hard Ticket to Hawaii commentary, which I had a ball doing,
well, I had a ball listening to the professor's talk.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry. I had a ball listening to our two guys who are coming on the show tonight. Should we introduce them? Yeah,
let's introduce them.
Okay, so all the way from... where was he from again? He was from Oxford, Cambridge and Stanford.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
The wonderful Andy Sidaris Professor Rick McClure is here.
Hello dear boy, how are you?
And all the way from a dumpster behind a fish and chip shop in Stoke, it's Barold Llandudno. Hello, how are we all today? Ready to record another Sidaris film.
I'd just like to say, gentlemen, thank you for stepping in for us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I never, ever get tired of watching Sidaris films. I get tired of my wife, and I get tired of my child, who I routinely lock in cupboards and only feed by poking grains of rice through the keyhole. And I never get tired of watching Sidaris films and getting a good old stiffy.
I have to agree that it's just a pleasure to be back. I don't get tired of my wife because I'm actually married to Maxine Waza, who is in the movie that we shall be discussing today. She plays Sexy Beauty Kelly.
Nice.
And I actually met her at a special screening in LA, and we hit it off instantly. And yes,
you
we're
hit
married
what off?
now.
What did you hit off? What? Where do you go round in LA hitting things?
In LA, it's hitting it off bars.
Oh.
We met at the screening, and I said, "Would you like to come to a hitting it off bar?" And she said yes. And we went there, and we walked through the doors, and I punched her straight in the tit, and her top hit off straight away.
Lovely.
Yes.
Oh, marvellous, marvellous. And of course, I had my own dalliance back in the day with Patty Duffek.
Lovely lady.
Oh, one of the finest ladies to have ever breathed.
What was she in?
She was also in Savage Beach. I call it Savage Beast because there's that little Asian chappie and he's a savage and he's running around. Oh, well, anyway, we'll talk about it later. But he's a beast and he's on the beach. Anyway, Patty...
Are those two gone?
Sorry?
Are those other two gone?
I don't know. Let me have a look. No, I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah,
here.
I'm still here as well. I'm just getting in. I think we should leave you two guys to it because it sounds like we're going to just get lost.
Okay, then why do I have to do that? Happy to do that.
So take care of the show for us because it's our pride and joy. So don't say anything too offensive.
It's in good hands, and if you like to picture it, it's also in good thighs.
Oh, yes, like patty cakes.
That's Patty Duffick. Oh, darling, darling Patty. I used to love playing patty cake with her patty cakes. And, in fact, when I finally did get married to some awful trollop who I met at the co-op, glazed in Spam, the only thing that ever excited me was when she would build a cake. She called it building a cake because she used to use concrete and bits of wood. But
my favourite type of cake.
She used to build a cake that looked identical to Patty Duffick's patty cakes. And that's the only time in my entire marriage that I've been happy. Oh, and that time that I set fire to the dog. Which I'm still claiming was an accident.
Well, if he will run in front of a petrol can in a match, that's his fault, isn't it?
It is.
That's his fault. He's got eyes, he can see.
If he will run in front of me when I'm doing the weeding in the garden with an aerosol can and a live flame, well, bloody hell. It's just what's going to happen.
It's a common myth that dogs are intelligent. It's not true at all.
No.
Not true at all, no.
Not in the slightest. Most dogs are bloody thick.
I purposely put my dog through A-levels in England. Yes. He did absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Absolutely terrible. I was very disappointed in him.
I know.
I had him put down.
I know. You put him right down.
I said, you stupid fucking dog.
In a bucket, in a well, right at the bottom. And he went, get down there.
You've let me down.
You've let me down. Again. You've let me down. I'm going to weep now for days. And I remember also, I remember that my first dog I had, we used to call him Syndrome. Initially, it was because of some film that my father liked, but I used to like it because every time he jumped up on the table, I could shout, "Down, Syndrome!" And that always used to give us a lot of laughs. We used to like that a lot in our house.
It sounds like a joke, but I don't think it is it?
No. Absolutely serious. I couldn't be more serious. I am as serious as Bruce Penhall.
Lovely man.
Lovely man. One of the men that I had to wrestle in order to have just an evening with Patty Duffick. Lovely. So, yes, this week we've been entrusted by Dr. Action and the Kick-Ass Kid to cover Savage Britches, which is a movie by Andy Sidaris, and it's by his Malibu Bay Film Company, and it's a fantastic movie. I would say probably the third best movie in the world. Obviously, you have number one is Hard Ticket to Hawaii, without a doubt.
That stands the test of time. We said that last week.
It does. It's one of the best ones.
That it's just above Shawshank Redemption. We've already said that. Discussed. Case closed.
Case closed. We've already listed it, named it, done it, tied it up in a bow and shipped it off. So you can't argue you're wrong. And then the second best movie in the world is, of course, Alienator, by Fred Olen Ray, starring Jean-Michael Vincent and John Philip Law. Bloody marvellous movie.
I'm absolutely determined that we will be asked back on the show to do that movie.
Yes.
I know the plans are in motion to put that on the show. Is Dr. Action still here? Are you here?
Yep. What's Alienator with Jean-Michael Vincent? You want to do that commentary?
I'd love to. It like we've just said, it's the second best movie ever made.
Second best, at least the second best.
Yes. So, case closed as well. We're doing it.
Yes, we're doing it.
What do you think, Kick-Ass Kid? Should we let them do it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. If we ever do a sci-fi action month, then maybe. But you know, there's lots of different possibilities coming up. We'll have a think. We'll have a think. Do you know what we could do? We could bloody well start our own commentary show. Fuck you two. Fuck you two. Oh, I'm getting all excited now. Oh, wait a minute. I need to take my pills. My pills. My pills.
Take your pills. Take your pills, Isaac. You mustn't get him riled up like that. You mustn't. Well,
yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realise that was going to happen. That was most upsetting. Anyway, I think we should go.
We're going to go now. We're going to go and have a bite to eat. Take care of the show, and thank you very much for doing it.
Yeah. Bye now.
See you. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank fuck they've gone.
Yeah, bloody hell. I tell you what, we're going to sneak into the studio and do that bloody Alienator, whether they like it or not. We'll release it by ourselves. Privately.
We'll charge for that one. Like bloody fortune.
Bloody fortune. Who doesn't love that movie?
Well, if you don't, you're fucking stupid.
They're all stupid. Anyway. Of course, then there's this one, Savage Beach, third best, I would say, possibly on a par with Cyborg Cop. What do you reckon?
Or Cyborg Cop 2.
Plur. Now you're talking. Plur, aren't you, really? Your lips are flapping and I can hear everything you say.
Yes. David Bradley is one of my favourite actors of all time.
Oh, the Bradster. Isn't he just? Isn't he?
Any man with two first names is great.
He's got a sort of, I don't know, a sort of Cary Grantish charm.
Oh, Cary Grant in the 50s.
Yes. I think also he's got something of the cheekbones of Vivian Leigh.
Yes. Yeah. I'm probably thinking that he was cloned from Cary Grant and Vivian Leigh, put into a spatula,
yes,
mixed around, put into a woman's vajayjay.
Yes, using some form of filthy kitchen instrument, like what's it? One of those things that you baster, a turkey baster.
A turkey baster.
Squeezing away.
Squeeze that in there, and then really punched up with a wooden spoon.
Yeah, and then you put a big cork in it so that she can't dribble it out.
Yeah, because that sort of man wants to get out of there.
Yeah, he does.
He wants to get out of the puss.
Well, one can remind you of a young, virile Raymond Burr.
Yes. Oh, yes. Except he obviously couldn't use his legs, could he?
No. Not all the time.
No.
I think he was faking most of the time. Most of the time.
Did you know that in The Untouchables, that movie was based on Sidney Poitier and Raymond Burr time in Los Angeles in the 1940s? Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that, no.
Yes, it's a true story. They found mutual friendship through marijuana.
Lovely.
And reggae music.
Splendid. I think that's marvellous. Now, I think we should start the film, sir. Where have you got the film? You've got it all queued up. I'm on 0.01 second. It says Malibu Bay Films. There's a big old lit thing in the corner. It's shiny.
I'm going to get to 0.001.
Oh, I see. Trying to outdo me, are you?
Yes, I might get 0.1.
You little shit.
0.03.
Little shit. So you're at 0.3 now, are you?
No.
Make your bloody mind up. I haven't got all day. I'll have some jam sandwiches. This reminds me of the time when Carmen Miranda and Ralph Richardson were both waiting for a bus on 86th Street. I think it was back in 1940 something, and the bus took forever to arrive, and when it did, it was the wrong bloody one.
That's not good. I'm on the same as you. I'm looking at Malibu Bay Films.
One of the greatest film companies ever, but certainly one of the strongest to have come out of America in the 1950s.
Yes, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and Francis Ford Coppola did their internship at Malibu Bay Films.
That's a true story, if it wasn't false. So anyway, here we are. Everybody ready for Savage Beast? Everyone, Savage. I'm going to keep calling it Savage Beast.
Well, that was its original title.
Yes, well, indeed. So let's watch Savage Peaches. We're going to start whenever you're ready, sir. You give the countdown, as always. And let's go into this.
3, 2, 1.
Go. Go. I'm gone, sir.
You're on the case.
Hello. And here we are with Andy Sidaris, Savage Beach. And we're doing a special commentary this week for the AFI, BFI Film Institutions.
Look at this now. The cinematography is absolutely superb. This was Wally Pfister's first film, who did Inception.
Yes.
All of Christopher Nolan's films. He started on this movie.
Who's one of the very best Pfisters that there is in the world.
Yes.
Of all the Pfisters, in professional pornography, Wally really is, well, he's kind of above the rest. And now, I think that J.J. Abrams could learn a a lot about lens flare from this opening sequence.
Yes.
And he could learn that lens flare, when used to a modicum, like in this bracing sequence, it is effective, romantic, otherworldly. But when used to excess in some CGI fest fuck-up, it's a complete waste of time, and you might as well just be wanking yourself off.
It's a waste of time, resources, and flares of lenses.
Yes, well, yes. And look, as we all learned in the 70s, you mustn't waste flares. You must wear flares around your waist.
Always.
Always. Not on your head. Get it off, boy. Around your waist. As my schoolmaster always used to say. Now we're back. The excitement is rollicking along again, and obviously, chronologically speaking, this is the movie that comes directly after Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yes.
And I think there's nothing more regal and alluring than two women on some shitty old mopeds. What do you think?
I think it just sets the mood. You instantly wonder why this red-haired, Freddy Krueger-looking woman is here, bouncing boobs and all. And you're just wondering what she's doing, why she's sitting that provocatively. And I believe that's a camel toe.
Yes. It's several camel toes, all in one. And what I find incredible is that nobody in this film wears a bra unless they go out without a top on, in which case they only wear a bra.
It's bras or tops.
That's the choice.
One or the other.
Yes.
There's no in between.
That striped outfit brings back memories of Jane Mansfield.
Oh, yes. Lovely woman.
And of having an epileptic attack due to some strobe lights in a disco in 1984.
Yeah. Me and you, we both fought for the roles of these two gentlemen, didn't we? But we lost out because of their good looks and tash and weirdness. We lost out, didn't we?
We lost out. That and the fact that we were about 4,000 miles away from Hawaii and had no way of getting there except rafts. So we're back again with these two yumptious strollops, and they are just quite simply some of the most professional agents I've ever seen. They know how to handle a weapon. They know how to throw a bag in a van. They know really all the procedures that one needs to take down the Delight Pineapple Company.
Yes, they really are a delight as well. It was an actual pineapple company.
It was a really an actual, real, authentic and real pineapple company.
Yeah, and they didn't even sell pineapples, which was ridiculous.
Yes.
They just sold apples.
You can't go anywhere in Hawaii without spray paint and a stencil. If you're nobody, if you're not anybody, without a stencil and some spray paint. Yeah. And Andy Sidaris, he's a wizard with both.
He loves them.
Yes. He married one briefly in 1970. And I believe they had a set square as a child.
He definitely. Oh, look. That's not disguised particularly well. That's why they're giving them away.
Yes. I didn't know that you could pack sugar, caster sugar like that in pineapples.
In the 80s, that was the only way to... During the 80s caster sugar shortage.
The shortage. That was the only way you could get it illegally.
Yes.
My favourite line in the movie coming up. Here she goes. Here's my badge and here's my warrant. And then he's like, well, I'm going to trick you. Here's my shotgun. Ha ha ha. It's marvellous. I keep one in my desk too.
Look at that. You didn't even know there was a gun in there.
No.
Professionalism, you see.
Well, that's why she has such big labia, to keep it hidden. That's what it's all about. She can keep an entire harpoon up there when she's whaling.
Oh.
He's just blown up some of the drugs. Bloody fool!
Blood. Lovely. War.
Oh, the gore in this is spectacular.
Almost
some of the most
out.
amazing effects ever.
She's on that snake from Hot Ticket to Hawaii, if you notice there.
Look at the sun bouncing off her shiny pants. It's causing all sorts of problems for me. But, you know, the same was when Lillian Gish wore something similar back when she was starring with Dorothy Lamour in the original Savage Beach. That was made in the 1940s.
Yes, Judy Garland, wasn't it? Didn't she do a marvellous job in the role of Taryn?
Didn't she? Didn't she just? Look at that right there. She's not just a pretty pair of buttocks. She also knows how to comically blow up a van.
They look a sorry pair of bastards, don't they?
They look not unlike we looked that time we took a raft to Venezuela and got into that hijinks involving all the ham. Now, this scene is, I think, quite simply one of the most beautiful and important and integral scenes. The slow-motion leap into the jacuzzi by the topless lady. It goes down in history, really, doesn't it?
It does. They always said...
In fact, all four of them have gone down in history and in the future. They're constantly going down whenever you're around them.
It's what they're paid for.
Yes. It's all they're good for, some men say. I'm not one of those men. I believe they could also wash dishes.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And also my smalls.
Yes. Now, I do, in the last film, she said I do all my best thinking in the jacuzzi. In this movie, she does all her exposition and intricate explanations of what's going on in a jacuzzi.
Yes, you see, Andy Sidaris had to mix it up a bit. That's because he's an intelligent filmmaker, you see.
He's a genius. He's a wizard. It's quite...
Look at that young girl smoking. No. Terrible.
That was the reality of the day. Look, they've been in that shop making caps. Look, you can see all the caps they've been making. And here he is, Hitchcockian cameo by old flabby Sidaris.
Lovely man. We did have the pleasure once of actually taking out a meal with him in a Burger King. Ooh.
Yes. Oh, he's taking something out or putting something in. Who could tell?
In, out, and then he'll shake it all about with his great hair.
So he's in an In-N-Out burger then?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Well, look, this is the first erotic scene of the movie, and I think it's filmed in a way that inspired, masters of the genre like Zalman King.
Oh, there's no need for that. Pink towels.
Pink towels. What I like is coming up in a minute. She goes to put the towel over the bosom. No, Andy's told her not to. Keep them exposed, darling. That's what you're there for.
Push them together, that's what he said. That's what people pay to see in an Andy Sidaris movie.
Yes. It's almost like him and Michael Winner were separated at birth.
I think they were. I think they were. Here she comes again now, look.
She does like the red.
She does.
I think it's a mistake because in the heat in Hawaii, she's likely to burst into flames.
Either that or she's actually naked and that's some rather bad sunburn that she's got. But I believe it's a dress.
Or that's her pubic mane that she's sort of had arranged in that fashion.
It was the rage in the 80s.
Yes, to have a full-body pubic mane.
I'll get it.
Now, look at this. The intricate knowledge of intelligent agency practice is well, it's out of this world. I mean, people think like 7 Days of the Condor, Day of the Jackal, these kind of movies are more accurate. But no. This is exactly how the intelligent agencies act. They sit around in swimming costumes answering fax machines.
Yeah, well, that's not a fax machine. Now, listen here, kids. That was the original iPhone.
Yes. That was their phone, not my phone.
Yes.
No such luck.
You can tell it's their phone because they're using it. If it was my phone, I would be using it.
I'd say no, you can't use it.
No, you can use it, but only if I can motorboat you like this. Which, of course, is perfectly acceptable. I used to do that to Alice Faye, Gypsy Rose Lee, Wendy Hiller, all back in the day. So, you know.
Thora Hird loved it.
Well, Thora Hird invented it. Her and Ralph Bellamy on a booze cruise to the south of Spain. Now, what he's doing there with the top of the walkie-talkie, it's got me all sweaty.
It's erotically charged.
He just knows where to place the camera to get the maximum bounce.
That's it. Sidaris was a clever old geezer for doing that. I like to call him a geezer, I do, because he was a geezer, wasn't he, down the pubs with us?
Don't you wish, dear boy, that we still lived in a time when feathered mullets, aviator glasses and cheap jumpsuits would just get it done?
I'd like to think that we still do live in that. And when called for a real man, that's what a real man would look like.
I'd like the ladies to write in and let us know, Rick. I'd like them to write in and say, look, if we both had our hair feathered, wore aviators and a cheap jumpsuit, would you give us one round the back, darling, for old time's sake?
At least let me put a couple of fingers up behind you, behind a spa.
Behind a what?
A spa.
Behind a spa?
A shop, yes.
Yeah, set an 8 till late shop.
Yes. 7-Eleven.
A 7-Eleven. Let me put it up here behind a 7-Eleven. Maybe like a giant sausage or feather duster.
Yeah, battered sausage.
Again, the attention to detail, the way that the back of the Jeep matches the plane.
It's standard issue for the
that's
agency.
what I think, yes. That's not a real helicopter, and inside is a fake animatronic dummy of Gladys Cooper.
Here he is, man. If you look at a dictionary and you look under man, there's just a picture of him.
Just a picture of him. Let's listen to some of this action, shall we?
Are you comfortable with a big gun?
Always looking at tits.
Yeah.
This baby's larger than most anything.
If you watch it closely, it's one of the great acting feats that you were taught by Laurence Olivier.
Yeah.
Eyes, tits. Eyes, tits. Look into her eyes, then look at her tits. That's what Sir Lawrence taught us. It's what he taught me.
It builds bonds between actor and actress.
Tits. Eyes.
Tits.
Tits.
Subtle tits. Subtle tits, eyes. But that's the first scene in cinematic history to be entirely a cock innuendo.
Yes.
The whole scene. There isn't one line of dialogue where he isn't talking about his penis.
There isn't one piece of dialogue. It's all implied. We don't actually hear anything. We just know from the actor's intensity what they're thinking.
I think that Carl Malden and Olivia de Havilland wanted to do something similar back in 1946. Sadly, of course, the Hays Code at the time wouldn't allow it. That, the fact that Carl Malden wanted to do the entire scene with his manhood hanging out. You see, what Andy does is so clever. He keeps it above waist level, but routinely and consistently mentions penises. So it's there, subconsciously, in the brain, a large, bulbous, purple-headed womb raider, but you just don't see it. But it's
always
there.
erect. Always erect.
Always penetrating your ear canal, baby, if you're like me, or nasally.
Nasally. I like it up the nose.
You're a nose fucker from way back, aren't you, sir?
Oh, yes, the tighter the better. I do like a woman with very small nostrils.
Small nostrils.
Yes, so I have to really push it in, you see.
Oh, yeah, get all the way up. You got a hemorrhage going. So here they are, complicated dials, switches, knobs. They know exactly what they're doing. All of this is accurate.
They went to flying school for this.
If you could take a still of what they were just doing, get it and play it, and be able to play and fly the plane yourself. Such is the intricacy and accuracy with what they're doing.
And they really do flying well, don't they?
Well, they ply a plane better than anyone, I think. Now, this chap is excessively confused. He doesn't know where he's left his bike. Where is it? Is it over there? Maybe it's in the helmet. No? Is it behind me? Is it over there? No? I still don't know where it is.
I don't even if I came on a bike.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. I'm just settling it by mistake.
I like it that this bike simply has an on-off switch. He doesn't have to think. He can just drive. The modern man of tomorrow.
Yes, it's so futuristic. There we go, street talk.
Yes.
Street talking like a motherfucker, as they say where I live.
Well, they say the same thing where I live. Only they say it in French. Bloody
Street
Canadians.
talking like a motherfucker. I believe is what they say.
Yes.
Lovely bridge.
It's one of the best bridges. Designed by Eric Flamshaben in 1920-something.
And it's actually called Lloyd Bridge. It was named after him.
After the father of Bowbridge.
After Jeff Bridge, yes.
Yes, and after the Severn Bridge.
Yes, it's definitely a bridge. If we could see anything from it, it's the fact that it is a bridge.
I would say if I could go even deeper, I would believe it was a structural appendage built by man to carry us from one side of somewhere to another side of somewhere. That is never in doubt for a moment.
And it's what we need to get to the other side, you see. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Yes.
He'd cross the road because they hadn't built a bridge.
Right.
If he built a bridge, he wouldn't have got run over.
And Love will build a bridge. Cher taught us that.
Cher.
Some other scary people.
Yes, she's a wonderful singer and sexy as well. I don't believe she's had any work done for at least 10 years.
Yeah. 10 minutes, probably.
It comes now.
Look at that. Look at the high-techness of the car.
Oh, it's gonna go. Oh! Straight in the neck.
I've had it straight in the neck.
It's not nice, is it?
No, it's not nice, especially when it's unexpected.
You azar me.
Yes. Now, I think if I was military, I would have been able to have told by that gentleman's beard that he wasn't on the level. I'm not sure that that's a military issue.
The Marshall Islands consist of only 70 square miles of land, but scattered over 5,000 square miles.
So, if you were in the military like us, you would know instantly if a man showed up scruffy like that. You would be like, you're not legitimate, I'm not getting in this car until you've at least waxed my balls.
Yes, you must wax your tash. Put it into a nice fine curve. That's how you know a man from a boy.
Oh, if he had a mustache, which he had carefully groomed into the epitome of Poirot manhood, then yes, everything would be fine. But with the beard, he looks like a ruffian, and he looks like he would be coming at you with some form of dagger or kosh, looking to steal your pork pies and all your money.
He looks like a private. He doesn't look like somebody who'd be driving that car.
He looks like my private. My private has a beard. Only it wears it up top.
Oh, of course.
Yes. He does remarkably fit very well into those clothes, though.
Yes.
I wanted him to be just a little bit tighter.
This, of course, is Michael J. Fox. His first starring role before Family Ties, and it doesn't look like Michael J. Fox because it was filmed at a different angle.
Yes.
It's definitely not him. No, not him. That's Russ Abbott.
Yes.
Michael J. Fox there, you see.
What I like about it is it looks like Michael J. Fox has had love with Casper Van Dien. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yes.
He's got something of the Van Dien about him. Van Dien, of course, just an excellent actor. Just one of the greatest actors of all time.
Probably the greatest actor of our generation.
Of any generation, I would say.
Yes, I would say that.
I think if I could get a word at edgeways, I think you could probably drop Casper Van Dien into a medieval passion play, and people would be as instantly enthralled as we were when we saw him in Shark Attack in 1988.
Wonderful film. I'm sorry I didn't let you talk then. But when you talk about Van Dien and the case of the Van Diens, I have to put my 2 cents in, as the Americans say.
Yes.
He was wonderful in Starship Trooper.
Oh, incredible.
One of the greatest sci-fi poop films ever made.
Yes.
Lovely scat.
I liked him in that wonderful performance he did in Hollywood Flies and in The Curse of King Tut's Womb. I also loved him in Mask of the Ninja and Malibu Days, which of course was only a short, but I still liked it.
But his work, it may have been a short, but it was a career-defining performance.
It was.
That's what we must remember.
What I like about this gentleman, the gentleman standing up in the blue jacket, is his hair is every single colour that hair is possibly able to be, all at once.
He was a punk, you see, in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And he wanted to change. He wanted to show a different side to himself. But he didn't want to lose his roots as a punk. And he couldn't lose the roots because he covered his hair so many times that it stayed like that. But he was one of the founding members of the Sex Pistols, the Queen's favourite band.
Yes.
During World War II, I believe...
They used to call them founding members. They used to call them Fistles. People don't know that, but they used to call them.
People don't know that.
Yes.
We know that.
We know that because we were there. The Fex Fistles.
We never missed a single gig that the Sex Pistols ever did.
This is the Queen's favourite film, Savage Beach. She prefers it over Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yes, she does like it. It's sort of because she loves the tashes, you see.
Well, and she likes it rough.
She does like it rough, yeah.
The Queen does like it rough.
I like his hair.
I like all the hair.
We'll stay until you feel up to this.
This bit's a bit like the Wolverine. It's like the old man. He's come to the end of his life.
That's Hugh Jackman.
He wants to put everything to rest. Look at that high tech. When we used to watch this back when it was made, we couldn't believe in such things. We thought, how did they think them up? But there they are.
And interweb. That'll never catch on. It did.
It did. That's how we're coming to you right now. Look out, it's a flashback. You can't even tell the difference.
This is in Nagasaki, and this is when Wolverine was in that pit in the ground.
Yes.
He's going to go and see him now.
He's going to go save him from the pit. From the bomb. They did find an actor who looks remarkably like that old man to portray him as a younger man.
Yes, it's amazing. I don't think they did any prosthetic work on him. Andy Sidaris would never lower himself.
I think he's almost entirely prosthetic, except the mustache.
That's real. His name's Bob.
Yes.
Wonderful tash.
He's a stunt mustache that they fly in on occasion.
The man behind him is walking a bit like a zombie.
It's because he's blind drunk.
Blind drunk. He was kicked off the set after this scene. He was drinking terps. He still hasn't put the box down, you see. Bloody useless. I'd have fired him immediately. Andy Sidaris said, I want this to be realistic. Don't lumber over there like a tit.
Like a zombie. What they don't seem to appreciate is there's 437 more boxes to be put on.
Time is an essence. Put the chickens in a box. Put one box on at a time. Don't all up, Jordan.
What's incredible is that is where the phrase "putting your chickens in a box" comes from.
Yes, people don't realise that.
You know how we normally used to say, I like to get my ducks in a row?
Yes.
But now we say, I like to put my chickens in a box. That's where it comes from.
Yes,
Also,
Andy Sidaris coined the phrase.
Sidaris loves to put a good cock in a good box.
Oh, don't we all?
Yes. Plus he likes plump, feathery birds.
He does. Loves them.
As does this man. He's modelled his hair over after a plump, feathery bird. Look at it. From the side view, he looks like a cockatiel.
Favourite bird.
There's more penis metaphor in this movie than anything else.
Yeah.
This man's face is penis metaphor.
Yes. Look at his mouth. I bet that's had a cockatoo in it.
Yeah. And you're not talking about the form of parrot.
No, I know for a fact that he was the first Chinese homosexual actor to be in a film.
Interracial pornography.
Yes.
Yes. Me love you long time. Yes, it's a favourite of mine.
You want some sake? Did you say sake or sake? Whichever comes first.
And he's like, I'll come first.
So you want a sake?
Up your nose.
Yes, I will have both.
Nostril fucker 1 through 8.
Yeah.
Your favourite series.
It's very good.
This man, who he's talking to, not the old man, but the one with the feathery hair who looks a bit like a cockatiel. He was in the
hair out of place, if you notice.
Yes, he was in the Asian Beatles tribute band. He was George Harrison. Well, George Hallison, but that's who he was. And it was fantastic. Look at this effect. This is better than Jurassic Park right here.
This was based. Jurassic Park was based on this film.
Yes.
That old man in the bed played the T-Rex.
What's incredible is that they go on and on about storms in this movie, but the sky never stops being bright blue.
No, it's a trick of the camera, you see.
Yes. It's got nothing to do with the fact that Sidaris is just standing on top of a plane, urinating everywhere.
Oh.
She's getting glazed from head to toe in sickly sweet, whiskey-drenched Sidaris piss.
If they kept their mouths open, they'd have been drunk for 2 days. That's why they have to keep their mouths closed.
But I like a good
wet to swallow.
I like a good wet bird.
Knocks.
All the signage in Hawaii is done by a simple child with a bit of cardboard and a felt tip pen.
Named Peter.
Named Peter Spangtanovich.
Yes.
He's from the Rhode Island Spangtanoviches.
Yes.
A very wealthy family of carpetbaggers.
Yes.
They've
No
bagged...
thumbs. Not one thumb
No.
in the
none
whole
of them.
family.
But they've bagged carpets for the crowned heads of some of Europe's finest royal families.
Oh, yes. Princess Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yes.
Princess Diana, when she was with us, had her carpets from them.
I happen to know that she's still with us, and it was all a government ruse. I believe she's living in Toxteth.
With Elvis.
Yes, running a curry house.
I've been there. Curry's not very good.
Fucking awful.
But the karaoke when Elvis gets up, superb. Inspiring.
The problem with the curry is she does insist on she does insist on wiping her vagina all over the plate before she puts the food down.
It gives it a sheen.
It gives it a sheen.
And not a Charlie sheen.
No, but it gives it a horrible fishy taste as a sort of afterthought.
I don't know if you've ever tried cod curry.
No, it's not.
It's bloody awful.
Not pleasant.
Bloody awful.
It's like a big old clam. So here he is. He's being given a briefcase. This man with the multicoloured hair went on to obviously star in every single one of David Lynch's films, although you never see him because Lynch covers him with a blanket. But he's there.
Oh, look, floppy this. Not floppy, though.
No. I used to love floppy disks.
Yes, there he is. Machete.
Yeah. He's kind of like son of Machete.
Yes.
It's like a prequel.
Saddam Machete. That's what he looks like. He looks like a mix between Saddam Hussein and Machete. It's Saddam Machete.
Now look at this, right? He goes to open the briefcase and it explodes. Earlier, when Chappie Machete went up to hand him the suitcase, he said, "Would you like to check it first?" He went, "No, it's fine." How did he know he wasn't going to check it while he sat right there?
Because it's not good etiquette to check, you see.
Right.
That's what it is.
But he could have been blown up himself. As it was, he drove away and did the funniest laugh in the whole of history, which I spoke all over and I can't believe I did. But he was like, "Goodbye for now," whatever he said, and he went, "Nah, nah, nah," and then drove away. Here they are, more titties. We haven't had titties in 30 seconds. Get them out, ladies.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a feel. No cancer in those. No real breasts. That's the problem. They're all buffed up full of silicone.
And then the only clothes they have are those kinds of clothes.
Identical. They're like Einstein, you see. They're so clever that they don't bother wasting time picking what they're wearing. They just have 50 different outfits all the same.
Yeah, the greatest minds in the world do that.
Yes.
Like Simon Cowell.
And you can't fly a plane wearing a bra because it interferes with the navigational equipment.
It's not policy. It's not policy.
No.
If you've noticed, unless you're a man, you have to wear a bra if you're a man to fly a plane.
Yes. Yes.
Saddam Machete now, you see, talking to a woman with a kink in her hair.
Her ideology means far more to her than adulation.
Yes.
I think she's talking about the undulating breasts she has.
Yes.
He's wearing something of a sort of bolo tie thing.
Yes.
It's not quite a bolo tie, but
obviously that's how we tell that he's a bad guy.
it's had the same effect on her, though.
Oh, I say.
Oh, look at them. The nipples are bigger than the breasts. You could launch helicopters off those. And she has.
She has, definitely.
As a trick for the children at Christmas. Look at him lounging here.
Pose.
Look at him like a sleazy, greased-up, young Peter Stringfellow.
No penis, though.
Robe akimbo, look. I like the silky robe. He goes straight for the side fat. I like to do that. You size it up. You find out how much weight they've got. A bit of bush there, you can see.
Yes, you saw a bit of minge, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, did I ever? I didn't just see it. I noted it and wrote it down in my diary.
I could smell it. I've got 4D TV.
Yes. I could smell it even though this movie was made years ago.
Yes.
It's gone
She's
off a
liking it a lot more than he is.
cliff. Yes, he's not even trying.
I think what this is that she was saying, look, earlier when I was riding my bike, my thighs were chafing. Could you rub your greasy hair all over my thighs just to give them a bit of lubricant? He's like, certainly, it's the least I could do.
I'd be glad to.
Well, he's doing a public service, really. Ladies, if you suffer from bike thigh chafage, as I know some of you do, call 555-5555 and old Saddam Machete will come round and give you a good old lather up.
Yes.
He goes to the same hair greaser as Steven Seagal.
Yes, they're good friends. They're good friends. Seagal wanted this part, but Saddam Machete insisted that
Yes.
this part was him because he knew that he'd get to stick his head between her legs.
Yes. And he knew...
Probably snuck a cheeky tongue in there as well.
To be honest, I wouldn't put it past him. There's many times he's done similar things to me.
Put his tongue down your japai.
With his sneaky tongue.
Oh.
In the old back door area.
Yes. Pacific Rim style.
Yes, they do quite frequently, I've heard.
That plane's grown.
But yeah, it expanded overnight. What was I saying about the greasy hair, though? Oh, yes, that's it. He goes to the same hair greaser as Steven Seagal. Do you know there isn't a live otter within 100 square miles of that place? Because they're all killed and drained.
Well, if they will wander around there, then they will be butchered for their grease.
Look at this. Look, she's not wearing a bra, and he's greased up her hair. Look, he's given some free lube right there.
Yes. He's always giving.
Or do you think that's spunk?
Possibly a bit of both.
I wouldn't put it past either of them.
Oh, look, Scooby-Doo's there. You see the man.
Yeah, Freddy's giving Velma one.
Daphne won't be happy.
Oh, Daphne. Oh, Daphne.
Honolulu.
Not right now, sir. Not right now. I've got my jeans on, but they're not that tight. This is
She reminds me of a young Fairuza Balk.
She does. She does. She reminds me, actually, of a sort of Anne Sheridan mixed with Norma Shearer, with just a dash of Fay Ray and
Yes.
the ears of Esther Williams.
I tell you what, I always wanted to star in an Andy Sidaris film, and that is Anne Ramsey.
Anne Ramsey.
Her from Throw Mama from the Train in the Goonies.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the one who said, oh, and you think about that lady. She was absolutely beautiful.
That's a lady?
That was a lady. I actually saw one of her earlier films, and Al Leong.
Al Leong. Pray silence for the king of movies, Al Leong. He is master of all things.
Not growing hair on the top of your head.
No,
because he grew it out the back of his hair so much. The rest of his mind and his body couldn't cope with just growing hair out the top of his head. So, sadly, the greatest actor, the greatest martial art, the greatest moustache, the greatest ponytail in the world, alas, cannot grow hair out of the top of his head. But he makes up with it for everything else that he can do, including stripping men.
Yes, putting them in a big old blanket. It's almost the most alive we've seen Leong ever on screen. He's vibrant, he's pensive, he's a master forger. Look at that.
Master forger, yes.
Yes. It's just intricate the way he's done that. Look at that, you just stick that little thing over here, wave this thing that he borrowed from DeForest Kelley. It's a Star Wars prop, you see.
Yes.
And then it's done. Look at that right there. Absolutely spanking. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. between that and another laminated bit of cardboard with a face on it.
No, definitely not. He was a king forger.
He was.
This puppy's pretty low on fuel.
Look at them, they're actually flying.
We're gonna have to ditch this thing any minute.
Either that, or he has them on a very, very, very tall stick.
Let's go for it.
Or maybe on a hilltop.
We need every drop we can get.
Or maybe Al Leong is carrying him.
I think Al Leong is carrying the plane over the Atlantic.
Pacific, dear boy, Pacific.
One of the two.
Either one. Who can tell these days?
Water's water.
Yes. I don't want people coming on here splitting hairs with us.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. We're the experts when it comes to films and when it comes to what's going on. Well, now, what's going on?
Looks like that plane's going a bit out of control. Probably bloody woman's got a bra on while she's flying in.
That's
as we
probably
know.
what it is. Probably fucking up the instruments.
We know that's not common. Not common. How you fly a plane and must take your bra off. If you're a woman, she's probably left it on. She's lost control. Well, that's getting very dangerous now. Pearl Harbor.
Yes, it's the
Great
naval...
movie.
It's
Great movie starring Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett. Oh,
Josh Hartnett,
Better-
there's an Oscar winner if ever I
yeah.
saw it.
Better than Schindler's List, I tell you.
More accurate, certainly.
More realistic.
Yes, at least
More
it was in
realistic.
colour, because real life is in colour, Spielberg.
Yes.
You should have taken note.
Yes. Oh, I'll be over dramatic with a little girl in a red coat.
Stop
Fuck
it,
off.
Spielberg, stop it.
Stop it, artistic prick.
You should have cast Emilio Estevez, would have been much better.
Well, that's what I said to Steven Spielberg when I met him. I said, where's Estevez? Where's the realism?
Present you two loyal gentlemen.
Haven't you seen Men at Work, dear boy? Realistic from start to finish.
Absolutely. Even his brother's realistic in it, Charlie.
I said, you've worked too long in fantasy, dear boy. Where's Estevez?
Yes, there you're spot on there.
Where's Estevez, I
E.T..
said. Where is
Who
he?
wants to see a film about Gale from Coronation Street?
Nobody. Except this man.
Screen represents data
This man's the greatest actor ever made.
112,000 ships within the target area.
Made entirely out of shoeboxes.
Yes, and cheese.
And cheese.
And looks remarkably like Goose from Top Gun.
Anthony Edwards.
Yes, he looks just like him with hair.
And the way he handles a computer is a fucking pro.
Yes, he was actually made by two women who wanted to create him like weird science.
Yes.
And that's what they came up with. He's in fact the sexiest man ever invented. Huge cock.
You can tell by his hairline, which is the most peculiar hairline
It's
ever
a very
committed to
peculiar hairline. I like to have hair on the top of my forehead and right in the middle.
I believe it's what Seagal is modelling his current weave on.
Well, what it is, it's always pointing the way he goes.
It's always pointing north towards
Always.
the future.
See, that was the first game of Angry Birds. That was.
That was like digital battleships.
Yes, that. If you're going to be getting a PlayStation 4, those are the graphics.
Yeah. If you're going to be getting the iPhone 7, this is what you could expect.
Yeah, the great graphics like that, very realistic. Or, yep, that's Andy Sidaris. Great with realism, not so good with realistic fire quadrants. And...
He is known for some of the least realistic fire quadrants.
We're lucky to be alive.
What I want to know is why don't these two make out?
They never do. I believe as soon as Andy Sidaris said, cut, they were at it like two lesbians, really. They absolutely loved it. scissoring and 69ing all over the bloody shop. You couldn't move, all the juices were flowing. Andy Sidaris fell on his arse, no end of time.
Anything beginning with S, really.
Yes.
Snakes, sex, 69, and soy sauce.
Yes.
That's what
And
they're all
Sesame
about.
Street.
Sesame Street and Suckling and the film Seven with
Yes.
Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Situation comedy.
Sausages.
So, well, of course, goes without saying. And Sick.
Sick. I love a bit of Sick. Al Young, of course, won the Best Actor Oscar at the 1989 Oscars for this movie.
He did, just for that movement right there, where he smoothed out his mustache.
I don't get why more directors during the 80s and the 90s didn't use Al Young more. Spielberg said that he did want to put him in Amistad, but he couldn't because during that time there wasn't many Chinese people around and it didn't involve him. Bullshit, I say.
Yeah, bullshit. I said to Spielberg, get him in there. Why am I not seeing the shiny pate of Leong wandering through the jungle with whoever was in that movie? Dimension or whatever his name is. And Hannibal Lecter, he was in that movie, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
That's his name. I said, where's Leong? Why am I not looking into the beady little eyes of Leong? Why am I not watching him smooth his mustache down? Why am I not naked and being plied with alcohol by Betty Davis?
I tell you one of the worst things.
Look at that man. Wait. That man has a greasy groove between his breasts. Do you think he's been giving one of the other guys a tit wank?
I probably think he has.
Probably
That's
him.
why he's looking so pleased with himself, the young Michael J. Fox there.
Probably Saddam Machete, because he's all greasy.
He is greasy. He's a very greasy man. He exudes grease.
He's 2/3 grease.
Yes.
And 1/3 Mexican.
I was going to say about one of the greatest horrors in cinema. I met Michael Mann and I said to him, who was originally going to be in Heat out of Robert De Niro and Al Pacino? And originally it was going to be Freddie Prinze Jr. and Al Leong.
Nice. Would have been a much better movie.
I think so. Al Leong was going to play the Al Pacino role.
Nice, of course, naturally, because he's Italian.
Naturally. And Freddie Prinze Jr. was going to be the Robert De Niro. But he was so young he couldn't grow a little tash and a little beard.
Good God, they're at it again, man.
I love it.
He goes right for the breasts. Little does she know that he's been rubbing his greasy member between some chappie's titties while she was away.
What she doesn't realise is he's more of a bum man.
Yes.
To tartars.
So wait a minute.
Totally.
The driver's there and they're on the back seat, so the saxophonist must be riding shotgun.
He is definitely Kenny G.
Wait a minute, he's the invisible saxophonist.
Yes, or a midget.
Or he could be a midget saxophonist, or he could be in the boot, I suppose, or trunk if you're American.
Yes.
He's got to be somewhere, because every time they start making out, he starts blowing a tune on his old...
Most well-paid man in an Andy Sidaris movie is the saxophonist.
Andy Sidaris can't go anywhere without one. In that bag right there, saxophonist.
Yeah.
It's part of their, if we're trapped on a desert island...
He's a very, very small man.
No legs.
No legs. No legs at all.
He's almost 2/3 head.
Yes. Great saxophonist. Terrible in arse-kicking competitions.
Yes. Now, these ladies are incredibly resourceful. If I was trapped on a desert island, I would want them.
Oh, yeah.
Because look what they've built right there. I couldn't do that, could you?
Well, if you were to put that in London town, that would fetch £1 million.
It would. It would fetch £1 million. They'd probably pay you that to take it down because it'd be in the way of some protesters or some tramps.
I know.
Take off the breasts to the strain of the piano. Of course, Chopin playing in the background here. one of the greatest piano pieces Chopin ever wrote. It's called the Bouncing Breast Suite in E. And look at that right there. We're going to cavort in the ocean, naked as the day we were born. Look at our nipples, bosoms bouncing.
That was, of course, Harry Seacombe's favourite song on Songs of Praise.
Harry Seacombe used to sing it every Sunday.
I love to see bouncing breasts in the water.
With the boobs, the big boobs of God. That's what he used to
Jesus said it was wrong.
One boy for sale. Wasn't that what he used to sing?
That's what he used to sing. What a singer he was. I have all his CDs.
I often do that, you know, of an evening, just run down into the sea.
Well,
Naked.
Yes, I do. But I live near Skegness. It's awfully cold.
Trouble is, I live in New York City, so the ships all honk and beep at me.
Yeah, that's just sexist. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy, get them out, ladies. She does it a little speedy for my liking.
Yeah,
it's
stop.
almost like she's aware she's being exploited. This is exactly... It's so... You know, I'm constantly amazed at just how accurate it is. The intelligence agencies could learn a lot from watching this film, because, of course, they've gone down the fucking tube since then. Nowadays, you know, they have ranks and ranks of computers, and, you know, they're listening in on people's phone conversations.
They're probably listening in right now.
Hopefully, so they can learn a thing or two from Savage Beach and go, you know what you need? You don't need all these people looking at computers and trying to figure out where the next bad person's coming from or
people
whatever.
that make the world go round, not computers.
You need people in bikinis, half asleep by a swimming pool with an old 1980s fax machine. That's what you need. That's all we ever needed. We didn't win 2 wars.
With iPhones.
With iPhones and things and gubbins and hats with pointy things and light up bits and neon. None of that. I just want swimming costumes and pools and eating coconuts and titties. That's how you win a war.
And fruit, big green fruit.
And harpoons and more swimming costumes and camel toes.
These two ladies won World War II by themselves.
They did. Their camel toes took most of that.
They were distracted, you see. The Germans were distracted by the camel toes. And they said, they look like camel toes. And instantly they harpooned them through the head.
Yes. Wait one moment. I thought you were women, but now I see your camel toe. So, you therefore must be the camel, yeah? With the spitty mouths and the sucks on the back. And the women would go, no, we're really women, and pull a harpoon out of their minge. Germans didn't know what hit them. Bang, bang, between the eye, dead. That's how we won the war. True story.
War, yeah. Winston Churchill sent them over.
No,
some people have claimed that Winston Churchill is actually Andy Sidaris.
Yeah.
I can't confirm or deny.
Or deny it. No.
I do know, but legally I cannot say.
Yes.
Beautiful cut there.
Can you believe it, Tana? We're not alone here.
I bet he's been watching you from in the bushes, playing with his little winky.
I bet he's been rubbing his little samurai sword.
I don't know.
His little lipstick.
He's probably been polishing it. Look at the difference in titties. One on the left has a certain type, and the one on the right has a different type. It's the wonder of nature.
Yeah, well, that's it, you see. Andy Sidaris was never tittist.
No.
He liked them all.
All tits. In fact, there was never a pair he didn't like. I remember even when he came face to face with Meatloaf, he even liked his.
But Meatloaf has got a great set of tatars on him.
Some of the very best. Look at this day for night shooting. Look at it. Love it.
Love it.
It's some of the most expert day for night shooting I've seen since the Third Band with Orson Welles.
Well, I'd say it's better, personally.
Well, of course it's better. It's in colour, so it's more realistic.
Yes. I do not like black and white films.
I don't understand black and white, dear boy, because I've never woken up and the world been in black and white.
Oh.
Well, there was that one time when I'd had too many methamphetamines, but apart from that...
Oh, it's all going down now, isn't it?
It is. It's getting tense. My arsehole is puckered.
Buggered or puckered, did you say?
Puckered, dear boy. Puckered.
Oh.
I think what they've gone and done is they've shot his cock off. Yes, I'm right. Look, there it is. There's the leg of the cock.
He has got a firm right angle in it.
Good shooting, Taryn. Oh. Well, there goes our alarm clock, huh?
It's a chicken's head.
Either that or a very, very small man was dressed in a chicken costume.
I'd say that's probably what it was.
They just killed his face off.
We're gonna have to find it before it finds us.
This is what Face Off really meant. It's where Face Off was created. John Woo saw it and said, chicken head, Face Off.
Chicken head.
Get me Nicolas Cage and John Travolta on the phone. I shall make that.
I think what he actually said was, get me Matthew Modine, and then whoever was on the other end of the line went, who? And he was like, okay, John Travolta will have to do.
John Travolta will have to do.
Now, look at this. Look at this. They intricately put this stuff on. Look at it like that. She's like, I'm going to make my cheeks all green. I'm going to become a clown. Then I'm going to do a little soul patch with the brown stuff. And then I'm going to give myself a monobrow. Then in this scene, what's happened to it? It's all gone funny. They've only bothered to do their faces, but none of the rest of their bodies.
No,
Then, with each cut, the makeup becomes less. Now they're barely even wearing it. Now it just
yes. They just look like new romantics from the early 80s.
Yes, they just look like they've gone toe to toe with Adam Ant for a few rounds of tongue lashings. I just don't understand. Why did he have them put it on her face, only for the rest of their bodies to clearly not be camouflaged in any way whatsoever?
I did bring this up once with Mr. Sidaris, and he said, don't question me.
No.
There is a method to it, and I said no more because I didn't want to insult the great man.
I think probably the reason why he didn't camouflage anything else, but he did camouflage the face, is he wasn't interested in the face. He was interested in the buttock crevice.
Andy Sidaris never ever realised that women had faces.
No, it was never something that bothered him for a moment.
No.
But look, walking through all these reeds has wiped the makeup almost entirely off, look.
They're exposed now.
Yes.
Whereas he's got some camouflage on his face that looks like it's been on there for quite a few years.
His face looks like an old bag that one might keep heads in.
Looks a bit like... I think his IMDb name is Scrotum Face. He does look a bit like a wrinkly old scrotum.
He does. He does. And you can't beat Scrotum Face, you can only join him.
Yes.
Now, I have a similar get-up in my basement.
Yes, I have one outside my front door.
Him again.
Scrotum Face.
But you see, in my basement, I've had all the walls rubberized. And a big...
Well, you don't want anybody causing causing themselves a mischief, do you, by smacking into the wall when they're dangling upside down? That wouldn't be good for anybody.
No, when they're playing on the sex swing or helping themselves to my trapeze. And then I have a button you can press and the entire floor turns to jello.
Oh, I must visit.
Yes. You and Phila Delore and Celia Emery and Julie Waters must come round for an afternoon of unforgiving.
I do believe Meryl Streep's been round, hasn't she?
Oh, he's found the toilet. Look at it. Oh, they've been pooping dog tags. No wonder they're so thin. They've had nothing to eat.
Their asses are Polaroid cameras.
I think the aging makeup they've done on this actor is so accurate.
It's very realistic, along with the talcum powder in the hair.
Yes. I wore something very, very similar for Halloween 1972. I was shipped off in a crate, ended up in Bali. Took me years to get home.
It's all about the story, though, isn't it?
They'd mistaken me for a filthy one, for a bad man, and they shipped me off to Bali. I don't know why. I tried to plead with them and said, look, I'm British, I'm in a Halloween costume. They wanted none of it. They thought I was doing some sort of clever accent. It's because my makeup was so accurate.
Yes.
And I looked like a little Asian man.
Not a lot of people know that I'm actually Elvira.
You are, actually.
I am Elvira.
Yes.
Completely makeup, that is. No cleavage. Just my little man-teats pushed together, creating an effect, camera angles. And I've been doing that for years. Oh, look. He's rubbing poo on his face.
Yes. Well, he's gone, well, if they're going to put camouflage on...
To be quite truthful, if I was him, I'd give up on that treatment because his skin looks terrible.
Yes, it's not working, is it?
It's just that. It's not oil of Ulay. There's no placenta in it.
No, it needs placenta.
It needs it. It craves it. Your skin craves placenta.
Facially.
I always stick placenta on my face before I go to bed.
Dutch placenta is some of the best.
Fresh Dutch placenta.
If you can find Dutch placenta.
It's very difficult.
Yes, I had to trade some on the black market. It's because I prefer black placenta.
You're not racist, are you?
No, otherwise Caucasian placenta is on the Caucasian market. It's quite simple. That's, of course, Caucasian is Asian people with big cocks. I'm just wrapped up in the plot at this point. It's so gripping.
It's very gripping. It's gripped me by the short and curlies. And won't let me go.
And by the long and sausages.
Yes.
He's got a Walkman. Look out. There's Robert Downey Jr.
This was the role that landed him as Iron Man.
Well, it's because of all the zips on his jumpsuit.
Yes.
They knew he could handle metal.
It's Michael J. Fox. Like a young Val Kilmer.
Yes, like a Eric Stoltz wannabe. He's got the intensity of a Stoltz. As has that man. They're all coming to the island now. Look at it. By boat, by plane, by air.
By hook or by crook?
Well, they're all crooks.
They're all crooks.
This is reminiscent of the D-Day landings. It's exactly how it happened.
Absolutely recreated without any errors whatsoever. This is what it was like.
Yeah, I mean, Spielberg needs to take note if he thinks that Shaving Ryan's Privates is anything like the truth of it.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
I spoke to somebody who was there. I said, what was it like? And he said, I did see fucking Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I spoke to someone who was there, and he said, I want more pudding! But he was very old. Oh,
he was very old, yes.
And I got him more pudding. So that was fine.
This is...
She always stands like that. It's because she's got one leg longer than the other.
Yes, very much so. Either that or she's wearing one high heel and a flip-flop.
Yeah. I often go out dressed in one high heel and a flip-flop. My wife calls it Casual Fridays.
Oh,
Look at that.
high-tech. It's like Star Trek, isn't it?
It's better. It's like Babylon 5.
The greatest TV show ever made,
Two Grazes.
with the greatest special effects,
Yes.
all done on a Commodore 64.
I also like Space 1999 with our old friend Martin Landau.
Yes, wonderful.
That's-
Not as good as Thunderbirds. The acting in that was just superb.
But
Superb.
Martin Landau made by the same puppet shop as the
Definitely,
Thunderbirds.
yes.
Same lips. It's all in the lips.
It's all in the lips and a little bit in the hips.
Well, maybe for you, dear boy, maybe for you. I had both my hips removed.
I have my lips removed.
Oh, that's remarkable. How are you talking to me right now?
I bought some off the internet. I have the same lips
We run a cargo airline on Molokai.
as Robert Rodriguez.
We're transporting some medical supplies.
It's funny because I have the same hips as Robert Goulet.
I can understand that. I would like his tash.
A plane's right around that bend.
And Barry Manilow's bum.
Tie this up.
Oh, look at that. Right in the jollies. Right in the little soldiers.
Bimbos.
Saddam Machete has got it right where he needs it.
Straight in the bullocks.
Let's go.
I thought...
At this point, I'd got confused as to what was going on because while I knew that the Filipino chappie was bad, I thought the other guy was in the military. So why is he tying up American DEA agents?
Yes, it's just not cricket, is it?
No. Well, I mean, unless he wants to cop a feel and they've consented.
No, you have to get consentation from them before you actually have a feel. Otherwise,
Them or
it's,
their mothers, whoever's available.
Yes. If she says no, ring the mother. She always has the last word.
Yes, the
That's what I
mother.
always tell them anyway.
I like to ring my mother and ask her if it's okay if I touch boobies. She appreciates
Not
it.
hers. No.
No. Other people who she's never met.
Yes.
But if I get her consent for me to be able to touch other people that she's never met boobies, then you're fine.
It's all good, isn't it?
It's
There he is
absolutely
again.
fine. There he is, Al Leong, now dressed to kill. That's the closest he's ever been to a woman.
Yes.
He's scared his ponytail away, look. He's let his hair down, he's gone relaxed, loose. Oh, look at that chappie. It's like Jeff Capes on a bad night.
Jeff Capes, the strongest man in the universe,
Yeah,
officially.
stronger even than Piers Morgan's level of bullshit. Al Leong's face, if you turned it to one side, his mouth would look a bit like a vagina.
With hair. It's remarkable.
I like the way that they've got this punk rock band from the 80s, heavily armed, and they're all going to be attacking this island.
This is the Chinese Beatles tribute band
With
that you were talking about earlier.
yeah, there's John, Paul.
Walking over Abbey Road in a minute.
This is Ringo. He's lost his way again. Very, very boring man is Ringo. He's got a wonderful way of walking though, like a flamingo has got a cork up its bottom.
Yes, and we've all seen that. He likes to sniff bushes.
He's a bush sniffer from way back.
Yes. Yeah. What I'd suggest doing is digging in the same place, not just digging.
No, all dig in exactly the same place.
Yes.
And I would also suggest, if you're going to be doing some serious digging for gold, bring along the tiniest shovels possible. Nothing was ever accomplished with a big, proper shovel.
No.
Much better to have a tiny little shovel you can barely operate.
Oh, they've found something.
They have. They found a bone.
I think they probably found one of that Chinese man's old poos.
The 3 dogs have found the bone. Stroke it. Look at it. He's rubbing it like a nipple. They found an old backgammon set. I'll be Reds, he says. Yes.
Sniff his bushy end.
She's trying to get one off quickly while they're alone.
Why not?
She's found a smooth enough log and she's given it a rub. She's Rebecca De Mornay. There he is. Look at it. She's like, I think I've seen your face somewhere before. I think it was the movie The Curse of the Mummy.
Yes. Or are you Richard Lynch's Chinese brother?
Did you take acid and set fire to your face in Central Park? Did you? Silly man.
You shouldn't do that.
It was all over an argument involving some Kung Pao chicken anyway. They were like, you've had enough? And he was like, no. And then they set fire to his face.
Awful story, tragic.
But true.
True, very true.
And
very true.
Happens to the best of us.
Yes, it happened to me, but luckily I had one of those fire extinguishers that the ladies had on the plane.
It happened to me, but it was over sesame chicken. They've done it. They've found the smallest, twattiest box of gold anyone's ever seen. Buried all of 3 inches into the ground. It was been that a slight rainstorm would have uncovered it years ago.
Yes.
What they thought they were digging up was actual gold. What they've actually dug up is several special limited edition Christmas boxes of Terry's All Gold. It's a special Christmas box that only contains coffee-flavoured ones. And they're really disappointed because they fucking hate coffee-flavoured All Gold.
He's told me in a phone call once, in revels, he always takes the coffee ones out.
Yeah, he does. And the peanuts!
Yes. Oh.
Double crossing on all sides. She double-crossed them, he's double-crossed them, everyone has double-crossed each other. The twists at the end of a Sidaris movie are like a corkscrew.
It's all coming together. Oh, she's weeing blood.
She's lactating blood, dear boy.
Lactating, that's what I meant. This doesn't come out of the boobs, does it?
Well, some women, if they're from either from the Outer Hebrides or parts of Greenland. He just touched his balls, I think, or his cock. He was talking about hardware.
Your plan of giving the gold to communist guerrillas was quite ambitious, man.
Listen to Al Leong. He's giving a speech worthy of Sir John Gielgud at his prime.
Oh, yes. Richard Attenborough. David Attenborough.
Well, Dickie Attenborough watched this film and he said, my life's been a lie.
Yes, he did. He was actually here filming Island Stories. He was shooting some scenes of ants and wonderful effect. Wonderful effect. It just doesn't let up, does it?
It doesn't. Once the excitement starts, I have difficulty staying awake. Look at this. We're back here. They're still trying to rig up some intricate thing. I think their jumpsuits gave them away. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look at that. That's accurate. That's what the agencies do these days.
Yes, they set up little shitty fishing wire traps.
Grass belly, even that is probably cotton.
Michael J. Fox and Robert Downey Jr., when they got together, they caused some bloody mischief in the 80s, as demonstrated here.
Not one of the women went home unpregnant.
No. Not from them parents, Al Leong.
Oh, well, of course. Al Leong's like a rutting spaniel. Once you wind him up, there's no stopping him.
No, it can keep on going and going and going.
He's like Monty Woolley back in the day, or Johnny Sheffield.
Oh, what a wonderful actor of the porn industry. Never actually got his penis out, but he was just a wonderful actor.
He was.
Always used a stunt cock.
Yes, Basil Rathbones.
Yes.
And Spencer Tracy.
Sherlock Bones.
Frequently. Then there was that fishy sequel they did where Sherlock unboned.
Yes.
Or deboned.
Eric, let's finish these guys off with our hands.
I would be terrified if Al Leong jumped out of a bush at me.
Whose bush?
Anybody's bush.
So if you were there with Susan Sarandon and Al Leong jumped out of her bush, you'd be terrified.
I would be terrified. I'd probably do the manly thing and push her in front of me.
Yes.
And run for my life, screaming like a little woodpecker. That's what men do, you see. You should always push the lady in front of the raging madmen, because, as we all know, it's not polite to hit a woman. She'll be fine. You make a quick getaway.
Yes. Well, it's the new feminism, of course, demands that we treat them like us, and therefore
treat them equally.
And therefore, if there's a big rampaging, violent, psychopathic rapist, leave them alone. Let them fend for themselves. They don't want your help. They don't want your help.
No.
They want to do it themselves.
They can vote now. They can vote so.
They can drive. Well, they're allowed to drive, and they can sit on juries. So at this point, really, honestly,
juries don't mind at all either, do they?
No, not at all. They like it when a woman's
their trousers on.
Right, if the women is sitting on them with no bottoms on.
You missed him, Captain. You noticed.
I still don't understand why they haven't all established that they're all government workers.
They're all government workers.
He's run back to see
if
she's still alive. But clearly, why would she be?
Well, he wants one last go.
We could still have a go. I bet it's still warm, and if not, he could just pour some syrup on it or something.
Oh, that was Bruce Lee in his final role. Wasted.
Not one line, even.
No.
Look at the acting here. The gold's not heavy at all, but look at him. He played Richard III back in Repertory, and he's using the hunch to a good advantage here.
He sat down on set before that, and he remembered playing Richard III, and he went right back to his college days, and he played it brilliantly.
I know we could become really good friends.
Sword.
It's actually the old wrinkle-faced man's metal penis. And they're just aroused to having something that big between them.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, my face is a bollock and my cock is a metal tube. And then he runs away. She is cute though, this one, isn't she?
Which one?
Not that one. The one before. The one who said, that's my guy. The smaller breasted of the two.
Yes.
But the cute face, nonetheless.
Yeah, she reminds me...
My horse, a kingdom for a horse. I mean, she's bloody useless, but she's cute.
Can't shoot for shit.
No.
But you don't have to when you've got a crossbow.
No. She's not a Loopy Velez, that's for certain.
Definitely not. Not a William Tell.
Or a Lauren Bacall.
Or a Kylie Minogue.
Well, so few people are. Kylie Minogue, who's one of my favourite people of all time.
Yeah,
She
I
sang.
know that her.
I've already paid for her to sing at my funeral. She's going to sing Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, and the Peter song from Meaning of Life, and what else is she going to sing? You Gets Me All Hot in the Crack, which is a little known underground rap funk song from the 80s.
I'm getting Rick Astley and Bella Remberg to sing Dolce, not Dolce, that song from the 80s that went, Save me a lot, my darling, save me a lot. I'm getting Rick Astley and Bella Remberg to sing that.
I'm getting, it's funny you should say that, because I'm getting Russ Abbott and the Crankies to do a rendition of Barcelona, that opera song that Freddie Mercury did.
That will be superb. I don't want to sound horrible, but I hope you go before me so I can have a glimpse of that.
Yes, the Crankies are going to be wearing fat suits. They're going dressed as that Violet girl from the Willy Wonka film where she goes all big and purple.
That wasn't a fat suit. She was actually that fat.
And
it was
purple.
a gland problem. Yes, she was purple as well. She was actually bulimic, but she kept forgetting to put her fingers down her throat.
Those stealth moves taught to Al Leong by real secret agents.
Oh, yeah. James Bond. Willie Carson.
Harry Palmer.
David Niven.
Dirty Harry.
Mel Brooks.
And the Muppets.
Yes.
They could tell he was coming because they heard the flute player. It's stupid that you go everywhere with a wooden flute player.
Look at Leong's expressions.
I haven't seen a death scene quite this marvellous since Richard Burton sat on a spike in 1973.
He's a goner.
Now, this is one of the longest, most emotional scenes in cinema history. I defy anyone to get through this scene and still be awake.
Yes, I often wonder why his foot's completely the other way around and he's laying on the floor.
I get so upset that I almost fall instantly into a coma during this scene.
Of course, if I was directing, the only drawback I'd have had Bollock Face say, sit on my face is my final request. And
Tell me that you love me.
Tell me you love me and sit on my face. And there's an act of goodwill. I think Robert Downey Jr. should sit on his face as he say, not you, the blonde one.
I think that's perfect.
They washed up on this beach. Hey! We were ordered to protect this treasure. But as the samurai tradition...
Now here's another flashback.
This film could have either been called Flashback or Savage Beach.
It could have been called Savage Flashback.
It could have done.
Or Savage Flash Beach. Or Flash Beach Savage.
Here it is now.
Or
Wolverine.
flashing Savage on the beach. Or
Jumping Flashback Savage.
Or Tits Alive. Lorks a Lordy, there be bosoms about.
Yes.
This is one of the most dramatically graphic and sickening scenes Sidaris ever filmed.
Yes.
Look at it.
Bloodthirsty in its...
Oh, and its ruthlessness.
Yes.
And it, almost, though, erotic in its intentions. The penetrative sword, the gushing virginal blood.
Cutting into skin.
Yes. I'm hard just thinking about it.
Rubbing a little bit on your tip, look.
Yeah, just rub it in there. What he's basically saying is that they came onto the beach, they killed them all in cold blood, and they all went off and had a barbecue.
And they were only looking for a buttons. They were there to harm nobody.
Harm nobody at all.
She's wondering when they can get out of there because she needs a wee. He still looks like a very great testicle.
He looks like Bob from Day of the Dead.
It is. I can honestly say that I know where James Mangold got the idea from the Wolverine. It's definitely this movie.
Yes.
Pink nail varnish and all.
Similarly, I think I know where they got the idea for The English Patient from.
Oh, absolutely.
A very, very boring book.
But a wonderful movie. A wonderful movie starring Roger Moore, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and James Dean.
And James Spader.
Oh, of course. And Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid.
Well, he makes every film better.
Clinically proven.
What I don't understand is that the Asian fella says seppuku, but when he translates it, the American guy says Harry Carey.
Yes, lovely fellow as well, Harry Carey.
Right, no, he's a great fellow. What I'm saying is he commits seppuku, which is also called Harry Carey, but why translate it? Why not just say he committed seppuku?
Yes, or suicide.
Yeah,
English.
Say
Use
it in
English.
Right,
fuck.
exactly. Stop trying to be pretentious.
Yeah.
The other guy couldn't bear to kill himself, so he just walked off into the ocean. I would imagine drowning to death.
I had it on good authority that he swam to China, and that's how the Chinese race evolved, because he turned up.
The race evolved because he just simply showed up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. They all look like...
I heard that he swam to Washington, D.C. and is now running a donut shop just near the White House.
It depends who you listen to.
And the donuts are all shaped like novelty cocks.
Yes, or vaginas, based on that woman.
Well, that's the Boston cream ones.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going off in a plane now. We're almost coming to the end of this spectacular film, and having watched 2 Sidaris films with you, so I have to say it's been an absolute pleasure. Your knowledge, your intelligence, your rare perception, your warmth, your, well, ability to spot a rude body part from 60 feet away, all of these things have proved invaluable.
Well, that's what I learned at Yale. And can I say that I agree with everything you've just said. I am quite the dapper student when it comes to Sidaris, but you've taught me some things I didn't know about Sidaris. Your knowledge is incredible. You have a marvellous beard, and it's been an absolute joy to do these 2 commentaries with you.
Yes. And we'll be back for The Alienator very soon.
Very, very soon, yes.
Look at that futuristic plane.
Very futuristic. Very futuristic.
Made entirely from the hide of young
It's
children.
what Star Wars was made upon. That is the original Millennium Falcon.
He's managed to get on to the island with cigarettes.
And white socks.
The 2 of them are fashion gurus. You could walk into any disco anywhere, except maybe Madrid, dressed like that and carrying one of these little things of tinfoil, and my God, you'd be combing them out of your pubic hair for weeks.
Oh, you would.
Bruce Christian, special operative.
See, this whole time he's had his identification. He could have showed that to the ladies. But no, they thought some prancing about in the jungle would be a better use of government time, money and resources.
As a matter of fact, he should be waking up just about now.
Of course, I believe this man went on to star in The Colour Purple.
Oh, yes. Yes. Some people say it was Danny Glover. I say no, it was this man. The greatest actor of his generation.
He is Danny Glover. That's what you don't realise.
Yes.
You don't realise it. He's just so good that he's Danny Glover and this tit. He's both.
He's both, definitely.
And he's Casper Van Dien's half-twin niece.
Yes.
You do know how to sail, don't you?
And this man, Mel Gibson, this is where they met to make... This is what... People think, oh, they're hatching an escape plot. No. They're working on Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah.
She looks like an Oompa Loompa.
If they'd only dyed her hair green, they would have had a really
Sexy.
interesting sort of sequel thing going on.
Just a cast of great-looking people. Makes me very jealous.
It does.
I wish I had a big red mane of hair like hers.
The redhead, though, is quite by far the ugliest. Especially her choice of dress.
I even prefer that brown woman next to her at the minute. She's a lot nicer.
She's wearing the traditional pointy hat of,
yes.
of witches.
Yeah, I like her earrings. And her wide mouth. That's my favourite part. She's always smiling.
Very placid expression.
Yeah.
Ready for anything.
Get out of the way of her.
What about you?
Try anything once. Or twice.
Oh, look, that's an innuendo talking about threesomes. He's going to go away and form a human pyramid on his face and on his penis.
Greatest hair ever. They could only get him to film for 2 days. Wow. Well, can I just say that was probably... Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is the third greatest movie of all time.
Most definitely.
Yes.
These flashbacks at the end to what happened in the film are the fourth greatest movie of all time.
Yes. Oh, Magnum PI.
I love this song as well.
Yes. Not as good as Hard Ticket to Hawaii. But
nothing ever could be, but it's so dramatic.
Yes. Sang by a young Luther Vandross.
Yes. He was tutored in the ways of singing by Neil Diamond.
And Michael Bolton.
Well, Michael Bolton learnt off this guy.
Norm Goya.
He was one of the backing singers. Bollock Face, who was played by Helicopters. A Kido choreographer. There was a Kido in this movie.
There was, in abundance.
Yeah, that would have been Steven Seagal then. As he's the only person who does Aikido in the world.
He's the only person who could master it.
He made it up. So, are you guys done then? Is the film over?
Yeah, did you have a good time? Are you done?
Oh, it was lovely time, lovely time. I almost don't want it to end.
I don't want it to end. I might stay and watch it again. What do you think? Should we stay and watch it again?
Yes, I want to watch it again. It's
You
almost like I'm
don't
watching
mind
it.
if we stay, do you?
It's almost like I'm watching it again, just watching the end credits. I mean, they can watch it again. I don't think we're going to record them watching it again, though, are we?
No, we'll take that, and yeah, thank you for doing it.
No, I want you to keep the microphone rolling. We're going to record it all over again. This is going to be a double commentary, the first of its kind in history. We're going to watch the film instantly all over again,
We're
again.
going to do two two different ones and layer them over the top.
Yes.
So it'll be Savage Beach times by 3.
All
and
the
that's
one over
greater than 2.
All the one over at the left, all the other one over all the right, and it'll be up to the audience which ear they keep open as to what points of wisdom they get from us. It'll be a special celebration of life and liberty.
Should we just tell them that we're going to record it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll just let them record it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't mind, but I mean, I've got to go. I can't stay around. But if they want to do it, I'm okay with that. If you are, Doc.
Yeah. They're having fun.
Yeah.
Well, you guys carry on, but we're gonna sign this show off. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, dear boy. That's absolutely fine. You get out, go away.
Yeah,
Right.
I need to go and get rid of the piss from the python, as they say.
Yeah,
They don't say that.
I'm going to go, Doc, anyway. I'm going to leave these two to it.
Yeah, I'm going to go as well. I need to go and watch some TV.
Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye.
Okay, so let's start the movie again then. Are we watching Savage Beach again?
Yes.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
The movie.
Malibu Bay Films. Here we go again, and it's Andy Sidaris' Savage Beach. What a
Great
wonderful
movie.
film. I could watch this all day.
We are going to watch it all day.
Yes. And it's starting again now. Here he is, and he's silhouetted against the sun. This was filmed on Mars 75 million years ago. Some of the first film ever exposed.
This was the original John Carter.
Yes, it was. Rodrigo Obregon again. He's in the film. He was in Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and he reprises his role here as Man. And yes, what a great film. James Liu, of course, and lovely, lovely, lovely stuff going on with this sword play. I believe Steven Seagal taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, it's about life, women, and cheese.
Yes, and obviously we've got the wonderful lens flare provided by cinematographer
Michael Jackson.
right. No, Howard Wexler. Just
That's
come up on the screen.